Chapter 6. The Water.
Once, Mama washed my hair in the tub. Jaban Rosado, pink soap, sud stinging my eyes. Ya princesa, hold still, she said. Papa hummed in the doorway, guitar strings buzzing low, not quite a song. The steam rose like curtains. Now, there is only itching. Scars that burn when I scratch them, scars that never stop. My throat aches like an empty room. The silence weighs heavier than the voice I lost.
Her words drip like water, hollow, then swallowed by quiet.
In local business, creditors continue circling the late Carmen Villanueva's estate. Unpaid loans, salon debts, some sources whisper over $750,000 owed. The fate of her widower Ramon, and the girl some call cursed, Celestina, remains uncertain. Neighbors murmur, bruja, others, something darker.
$780,000. Dios? Carmen, why didn't you tell me?
On the dining table, envelopes stack like bricks. Final notice. Foreclosure warning. Past due. Ramon tears one open, eyes blurring over the figures. $780,000 owed. Enough to sink any family in 1963. A number so heavy it felt like another coffin. He lights a cigarette with shaking hands. The smoke rises into the chandelier, but the numbers stay pinned to his chest. From a gate, through iron bars, the banker's silhouette lingers again. Hot, ledger, siguretember. Patient as debt itself. Reporters circle like scavenger birds. Kodaks dangle like weapons. They shout through the bars.
Senor Villanueva, how will you pay the record label back? Celestina, are you cursed, or is it witchcraft that you keep surviving?
Ramon mutters, almost praying.
She never told me. Carmen never told me about the debts.
Carmen's ghost, woven through bank slips and salon receipts, stares back at him from the paperwork.
They called me La Nina Quesetragoal Violin. Doctors lined up around me, broca's aphasia, glottic gap, underdeveloped larynx. Big words. Small hope. I laughed, and the sound cut like glass.
The house is too quiet, too large, bought on loans they can't repay. The swimming pool sits in back, cold blue, almost mocking. Celestina scratches at the scars on her arms until they bleed. She winces, then presses her palm flat against the glass door, staring at the water. The pool whispers, not words, just stillness, relief. A place without flashbulbs, without headlines, without the weight of her father's eyes. She limps outside in her nightgown, barefoot on cold stone tiles. Breath fogs in the winter air. She steps into the pool. Ankles, waist, chest. The chill eats her raw, but she keeps walking until the water folds over her head. Beneath the surface, the water isn't water. It is fabric. Curtains, this time blue instead of flame. They sway slowly, like lullabies. She sees her mother there, Carmen, floating just ahead. Arms open, face radiant, unburned, humming the song from the bathtub. Celestina mouths, Mama. Only bubbles rise.
Mama. Tres suspiros, 3 breaths, and I'm almost gone.
Then another voice, her own but lower, split like broken vinyl.
Stay under. Don't go back. Better quiet than cursed.
At the pool's bottom, a shadow leans against the tiles. Shoes mismatched, notebook open, writing her drowning as if it were scripture. Her lungs claw. Her body goes heavy. She lets herself sink. Ramon had been outside, burning overdue notices in a rusted oil drum, when the splash broke through the night. He dropped the matches, ran to the pool, dove without thinking. His clothes dragged him down, but his arms cut through the water until he found her. He pulled Celestina up, choking limp, hauled her onto the tiles, slapped her cheek. Nothing.
Celestina, por favor, hija ko. Please, my child, anak, don't go. Dios mío, not you too.
He pounded her chest, pressed his lips to hers, pushed breath into her lungs. Repeatedly. At last, she convulsed, coughed, water gushing from her throat. She screamed, a broken, rasping scream that sounded more wound than voice. Ramon recoiled, just for a flicker, as if the sound did not belong to her alone. Then he gathered her, sobbing, his tears mixed with pool water.
You can't leave me. Dios mío, you can't leave me too.
Patient admitted following near drowning at private residence, resuscitated by father. No lasting damage recorded, unclear origin of vocalization upon resuscitation.
Child star in Midnight Tragedy, Celestina Villanueva, found floating in family pool. Father saves her life. Which child survives fire and water?
Poolside tragedy in Nueva Estrella. Ramon Villanueva rescues daughter from drowning. Photographs show the singer limp in his arms, bandages trailing like streamers. Once again, the prodigy of fire meets water, and the city asks if she will survive her own myth.
Fire took her voice. Water nearly took her life. And still, the city refused to see a girl. They saw only curse, omen, bruja, 16 years old, burned, bandaged, dragged back from drowning. Yet the whispers called her not survivor, but witch. For in Nueva Estrella, grief was never private. It was currency. It was theater. And Celestina, child, daughter, ruin, was the headline.
Officials confirm Celestina Villanueva was resuscitated after a midnight incident at her family pool. Neighbors call it an accident. The city calls it a curse. And the papers, they call her La Bruja de la Catedral.
And so, with lungs still raw from water, the girl coughed into silence. The city leaned closer, listening for the rasp, thin as smoke, impossible to silence. Some swore it wasn't breath at all, but a spell.
Luz de mi madre, susurro en la mar, en cada ola te vuelvo a buscar. Noches de miedo, días sin fe.